going to do our very first mock draft for the Raiders of the offseason. Now, we did some earlier before the season was done just because we have itch. We had to get to it because this season has just been horrible. But anyway, we are here to bring you the latest Raiders content, including our mock draft, where we do our 1.0, which is no trades. So a couple of parameters to start things out with. Like we said, no trades. And we really just want to see where the board falls to get things started here. So we're going to go ahead and start things off here. You'll see here, this is the PFF mock draft simulator. 7-round mock draft. We like to go high speed because we don't want to waste your guys' time. High speed, low drag. PFF, we like to go more towards PFF because we feel like I actually know what they're talking about. Care for positional value and drafting for needs are both relatively high. There is a little bit of randomness because it is the draft. And as you can see, the Raiders are at number 6 after for some reason, the Patriots just won against the Bills 2s, excuse me, which, great. But overall, Titans, Browns, and Giants all ahead of the Raiders there at the top. So we'll see how this whole thing falls. And let's go ahead and jump into it. So like we said, Raiders are going to have a lot of things going for them. They do have a lot of picks, so I think they will be able to rebuild and do some really good things here. So at the top here, we're going to go ahead and start the draft, do a little bit of a kind of just take a look at things here. So right off the bat, Cam Ward goes to the Titans. You also got the Browns going with McMillan here, and then Travis Hunter going to the Giants. Now, I do believe in some fashion that Shedeur Sanders is going to go, so I want to make this as realistic as possible. So I'm going to have Shedeur Sanders, we're going to low-key have him go here. So Shedeur Sanders, I do, maybe even Jalen Milroe. I don't know that he's actually going to go this high either, but if I was a betting man, I would say that all three of them are probably going to go in the top 3 picks if the Raiders even don't trade up themselves and do it. But like we said, we're going to stick here, and we're going to say that at least Shedeur Sanders goes. So here the Raiders sit at 6, and Jalen Milroe in his infinite glory is sitting at 59. Like I said, I do think that he's going to make it into the first round, but for just all intents and purposes, we'll just run with this for now. So at the top, the Raiders have a lot of needs. And the the Jaguars, I get them mixed up sometimes. The Jaguars are sitting there with Will Campbell, which makes sense. They do need some line to help. Luther Burden going to the Patriots, which, makes a little bit of sense as well. And so if this was how the board fell, and the Raiders didn't necessarily like Jalen Milroe, which I don't know why they wouldn't. He's a stud. I think that this would make a lot of sense to go with Mason Graham here because I understand that they got Christian Wilkins, but I want that dude in the middle that is just going to get after it. I also like Ashton Jeanty. I like Will Johnson. They need a corner. He's arguably the best corner in this class. And so we went Jeanty in the first draft, so I'm going to go Will Johnson at the top here because, he's the best corner in college football other than Travis Hunter right now. So I'm going to go Will Johnson here because we really got to finally lock down this second or at least start to. So Will Johnson goes there. 37, again, I don't know. I do think Jalen Milroe is going to go, but I don't know how soon. I really don't. So top of the second round, let's see here. Cam Scatterbo's a lot of fun. He's a stud. He really did himself a lot of favors. Scatterbo. Sorry, I know it's Scatterbo. My bad. So in the off chance that Jalen Milroe goes into the second round, so the Titans and Jaguars, the Titans, I would venture that, or at least wage that they do get the quarterback of the future. They go after weapons in the second round. I do think we go Jalen Milroe here in the second. Now, again, do I think he's going to go in the first? Yes, but for just now, just now, that's what we're going to go with. Ooh, Tylen Sampson. Ooh, Sampson's a stud. Sampson is an absolute stud. Big play guy. Yeah. I think when you get into the third round and if Sampson's still there, I think you run out of the room screaming like a banshee because he's still there. And then you get down to 73, Deion Walker as well. He's been the guy that we've taken on most of these mock drafts because, the dude is just a tank on the inside. Deion Walker. Yeah, I think you go Deion Walker here. So you got defensive tackle help. You got corner, running back, quarterbacks all taken care of. And now you can just go with BPA, which I actually really like. Barrett Carter's there. Barrett Carter's a stud. Let's see. Barrett Carter. A little bit of a liability in coverage, but it is what it is. Jalen Noel coming up out of Iowa State. Jonas Sanker. I really like his ability to play in the box. Savion Jones is there. Okay. Well, we've already got corner taken care of. In BPA, I think you go with Jonas Sanker, if that's how it indeed fell. Because, yes, Marcus Epps is getting up there. Trayvon Morig may or may not be back. He should, but, you can never count on anything these days. Okay, Danny Stutzman is there at linebacker. Stutzman is all over the place, and I think that he would be a fantastic addition here. So I think he's a little bit underrated in pass coverage, and also the run defense is there. So I'm going to go, Stutzman, Jonah Monmine. Running backs are plentiful. Curtis Rourke. Barham's there. Let's see. Will Lee the third. Honestly, I might go Will Lee here. I like me some length, and we need some corner help. We do. Let's be real. It has been god-awful for the Raiders as of late. So, yeah, we're going to go there. Miles Frazier, Upton Stout. I need to help out. Ooh, Patrick Payton. I like me some Patrick Payton. A little bit of an older prospect, but that's okay. Let's see. Tosco. Dumas Johnson. I've heard some good things about Dumas Johnson. I've done a little bit of research on him. I don't think he'd be a bad fit here either. Because linebacker-wise, I just need some flipping studs that can run sideline to sideline to make plays. Honestly, I like me and Xavier Nwakpa here. I know that coverage, it says he has been kind of a target lately, but if you actually watch tape on Nwakpa, I think he is a one-on replacement for Diavon Diablo and what he actually needs to be. So I know it says safety here, but I'm going to draft him as a quote-unquote outside linebacker that would actually be a really good fit in this scheme. I think he could be like a Josh Metellus for the Minnesota Vikings right now, just all over the place. I think it would make a ton of sense. Dylan Fairchild there. Jalen Walker. We take him in all of our mock drafts. Powell Ryland. I know he's a little bit of a smaller school guy, but the talent's there. Yes, a little bit older like we'd mentioned too, but the talent is there, and it never hurts to have a little bit of competition. Jackson Dart. Now, I know that we got our quarterback in the future, but I'm taking Jackson Dart too. I don't care what anybody says, because if he falls to the 7th round, I definitely think you do that. Brent Kuthi, Deriki Wright, CJ Taylor. Let's go 3 safeties. I'm just kidding. Is that an A here? Mark Gronowski. I think he's entering the transfer portal, so that's not exactly 100% accurate. Stackhouse. Dude, Stackhouse is a stud. I love me Stackhouse. Okay. Kuthi. I think Mayer's going to be a trade target, so Kuthi here would be a one-on-one replacement. I think he's a good blocking tight end. He can do some different things in the pass game as well. So seeing how this whole draft ended up, let's go ahead and do it. So at the top here, overall they gave us a B+, which I do not agree with. But Will Johnson, they gave us an A for that one. I mean, just drafting BPA and going from there. Jalen Milroe, again, I think he's going to go in the first, but I also did want to maybe potentially, I think maybe the Raiders could trade down because I think he might not go that high originally, and so maybe they might be able to trade down and still get Milroe and some extra draft picks. Nice. Dylan Sampson coming up out of Tennessee. Him dropping to the Raiders here would be an absolute steal. Finally get that running game back on track. Deon Walker, the defensive tackle stud out of Kentucky. I mean, these first 4 picks here might be all instant starters, so that would be fantastic for the Raiders. Jonas Sanker as well. I think him playing over the top would be really well, but then even William Lee III and Xavier Nwakpa. So Will Lee, is an absolute condor, 6'3", $190, but then also Nwakpa is, I think his specific size and everything, I think he's going to be more of an outside linebacker type fit, so I think it'd be fantastic. Antoine Powell Ryland, 14 sacks this year for Virginia Tech. Yes, he's a little bit of an older prospect. I do not care. This is the class where we need to start looking at some of these edge guys. Jackson Dart here in the 7th round, and then finishing it out with Brant Kuthi here. I think just top to bottom, getting depth guys, but also realistically, your first 3 to 5 picks here might all start for you. Let's be real here, especially with we don't know what's going to happen, especially with guys in the back end like Marcus Epps and company, or not Epps, I'm sorry, with Trayvon Morig. So I mean, hopefully he's back. That would be great. But we're going to plan like the worst happens here. So, but overall, The Raiders are looking pretty good. I think that they've got a lot of draft picks here and with the right coaching and right personnel scouting, I think they could really make a major difference here. But that is it. That is our very first mock draft. No trades. 0. We're going to see how everything falls. Let us know how you guys think everything fell. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and we'll see you on the next video.